Lee Boyd Malvo blames the absence of his father for his getting involved with John Muhammad, who spearheaded the DC sniper shootings. While not excusing his behavior and acknowledging the impact he caused and the grief he caused on several families, we ask the question, are absent fathers to blame for violent children? Joining us now to discuss is anthropologist for social violence, Dr. Herbert Gail of the University of the West Indies, and also head of Fathers Incorporated, a resource for fathers in Jamaica. Welcome.
Thank you.
Dr. Gail, your reaction to the Lee Boyd Malvo interview?
He got it right in the sense that the absence of fathers are going to have an impact on children. All mass and serial murderers that we have studied, and we're talking about over 100 that I have examined so far, they're usually almost as if there's a manual. It's a fractured relationship with mother and a missing father, and that usually accounts for 2/3 of everybody.
Interesting that you should bring up that point, because we spoke to Leslie Malvo here in Jamaica, the father of Lee Boyd Malvo, and he took some of the blame, but he said his mom, Una James, was to blame more. Let's take a listen to that clip.
Yes.
Well, I blame myself too. But,
I blame myself too.
But
I'm not blaming myself as much as her.
I said I didn't.
I said I was in Grand Cayman and I couldn't take Lee with me to Grand Cayman.
Do you believe that perhaps you should have spent more time with him?
Yeah, but if I...
Yeah, but if I was out here, I don't feel this would happen to Lee.
Do you think you were a good father to Lee?
Think? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I know so.
How can you consider yourself a good father, like Leslie Malvo does, if he admits at the same time that he did have to be away?
That's very typical, and more than that, that is actually reinforced within our culture. If we go to the 2004 St. Catherine, Adolescents of St. Catherine study done by myself and a team of other university young scholars, we asked 440 young people to value their parents. That was part of the study. All the fathers that were abroad sending money home regularly got scores of 9 and 10 out of 10. And the fathers who lived in Jamaica who were poor and did not have money got scores of 4 out of 10. That tells you out of the 4 roles that fathers have, which would be we're talking about protection, provision, nurturing, and being a role model. The Jamaican culture values more than everything else provision.
But is provision enough? Clearly not.
Nowhere near enough.
Lee Malvo said the first thing his father said to him when he came to testify at his trial in the United States was, "Are you a homosexual?" And he obviously said it in a way that's more colorful in Jamaican terms. We asked him about that, Leslie Malvo. Let's hear what he had to say.
Why am I call me Miss?
Why should I call my son a homosexual? Why?
I never know if...
I didn't know if John Muhammad had sex with him. This is the first time I'm hearing that. He only told me, "Dad, the man messed my brains up. Bad.
There in that clip, you heard him say he didn't. You really don't know who's speaking the truth. It's he said. But are fathers in Jamaica preoccupied with the idea of their sons being gay?
1994, with the Male Socialization Project sponsored by UNICEF, we found a lot of fathers were primarily concerned about their boys having sex with a girl, because the practice in Jamaica where boys pool monies together and then go find what we call a sketel, a part-time prostitute. And they pool all the monies together and go have sex with this woman, which accounts for...
And fathers respond positively to that.
And we found a lot of fathers in about 6 different studies who didn't see the risk as primary. They saw the fact that, thank God my son is heterosexual.
What do you advise people who are fathers, who are away trying to earn $1 to send back home? How do you advise them to stay present in people's lives, in their children's lives?
If you have fathers calling their sons twice, sometimes 3 times per day, that kind of contact creates a kind of quality of participation of the father. The physical is important too, but if you have to juggle it, as we would say here, then the better thing would be to make sure you have free hours to talk with your children. Yeah?
Thanks so much, Dr. Herbert Gail, for coming in. University of the West Indies anthropologist for social violence.
Your pleasure.
Coming up on 18 Degrees North, one man and his shoes. We walk the talk with a shoe designer in the heart of London. How his Jamaican upbringing and his love for the Caribbean has influenced his work and his recipe for success.
It's always been in my head that whatever I was going to do in work, I needed to enjoy it as much as not working.
That's coming up on 18 Degrees North.
The preceding segment was brought to you by
Caribbean Dreams.
Finally, a way to help control your diabetes. Introducing Caribbean Dreams Cinnamon Mint Diabetic Tea. Caribbean Dreams Cinnamon Mint Diabetic Tea is all natural and sweetened with stevia leaves, a plant sweetener that's safe for diabetics. Cinnamon increases the body's ability to regulate blood sugar. Peppermint is high in antioxidants and soothes the stomach. Take control of your diabetes with Caribbean Dreams Cinnamon Mint Diabetic Tea.